Many people thought that performance-based marketing would make brands irrelevant. They felt that once it was possible to measure and to optimize every part of a marketing campaign, that something as vague and intangible as a brand would be discarded to history. Those people were wrong. Today, brand is more important than ever. And in this video, we'll tell you why that is and the secret to building your brand into a powerhouse. So what is brand? What does it mean? What does it imply? We can begin with what it isn't. It isn't a fancy product name. It isn't a gorgeous logo. It isn't a company slogan. What gets to the essence of what a brand is if you think of a brand for a product or a company as being the same as a reputation for a person. Consider how important your reputation is to you. It affects how people react to you. It affects how successful you are in the world. It affects what kind of business deals you're able to do. Your reputation means everything to your success in the world. That's what a brand is to a product or a company. It affects how people perceive it. It affects whether they want to buy it. It affects whether they want to be associated with it. Brand is reputation for a product. Let's rewind a little bit and just look at how someone interacts with a brand as they're making a buying decision. And to do that, we need to know a little bit about what's going on inside the brain. Now, scientists have a whole lot of new brain scanning tools, MRI and various other imaging technologies. And what that's told us is that during a sales process, there's essentially 3 stages that we go through as humans. The first step is when we try and make an intelligent, informed decision. We talk to our friends, we'll compare one product with another, we'll look at pricing and whether that's in line with everything else that we know. We'll look at features, functions, benefits. As I say, we try and make an intelligent, informed decision. Of course, that makes us feel good. But that's not where the decision is made. Once we've gone through that stage, then it goes to a deeper level of the brain where our emotions take part in the decision. And at that point, we're looking at things like, how does the product make us feel? Is it the right color? Do we trust the salesperson that we're talking to? Do we feel good about the company? Is the design sexy? These are factors that we all know are important parts of the decision-making process, but it's not really an intelligent decision at that point. It's how our gut feeling is. Now, for a long time, people thought that's where the decision was made. That's the point at which we kind of ticked all the boxes and we were ready to go. But what science now tells us is that following that, just at the point where the decision to buy or not buy is being made, there's a third part of the brain that suddenly lights up. It's back here, the lizard brain, right at the root of the skull. And that part of the brain is the part where our deepest instincts lie. The instincts that control flight or fright or fighting. And that instinctive response to a product or a service or a situation is the bit that makes the final decision. It's got the veto power over everything else that has gone on, however rational we might feel we are. And what that means is that in order to make good sales, in order to increase sales as much as possible, in order to create a great brand, you need to try and tick off those boxes that make someone feel safe. It makes them feel warm and comfortable. It makes them feel as though they can trust you implicitly. These are the factors that go towards making a brand powerhouse. So that's it. That's what a brand is, right there. That's all there is to it. Everything else is frills. The essence of a brand is how people feel about it. Now, the bottom line of this video is to try and help you move forward with your branding. And up until now, we've been kind of vague. So let's get specific. First thing that you need to do is go and ask your customers and people that you've tried to sell to unsuccessfully. Go and ask those 2 groups of people what they think. Ask them, what do you think of us as a company? What do you think of this as a product? how do we make you feel? And I think the answers that you get from that, you're going to find incredibly valuable, whatever stage you are in your branding process. Second part is to talk to your employees. Pretty much anybody who faces a customer, who touches one of your clients at some point, you should go ask them, what do you think people think about us as a company? What do you think people think of our products? How do you think we make people feel? Because that's good information too. What that will then allow you to do is to move on to comparing that with how you think your competitors are seen in the marketplace, how their products are seen in the marketplace. And if you put all of that together, it enables you to find the essence of your brand and to identify the patch of high ground where your brand should live, the patch of ground that you should occupy, plant a flag and say, this is what my brand stands for. This is where we are. This is what makes us different. And if you can identify that patch of high ground, then you have the basis for a powerhouse brand. So having established what the essence of your brand is, having identified that patch of high ground, the next step is to find and establish what your brand positioning in the marketplace should be. And what that means is that you look at your competitors and you say, all right, where do we fit within what they're doing? Do we go head to head? Do we position ourselves as a premium brand where it's all about the experience of the user? Or do we go low end? Are we a value priced product where we have 90% of the features and the benefits of the premium products, but it's cheaper, it's more cost effective? These are all valuable decisions, and a product can be successful however it's positioned, but you can't be all things to all men. You have to make some choices here. So that's your brand positioning, and there's some choices to be made in that process. Step 3 is operationalizing everything that's come before. It's taking all of those insights, it's taking all of those pricing decisions, it's taking all of those customer experiences that you want to build into your brand and operationalizing them, making them happen within your organization. And what that means is that every customer touch point in the organization supports the brand identity. It means that when you have an employee speaking to a customer, the brand identity is communicated by making that customer feel good, feel how you want them to feel. It means that when they get a piece of mail from you, when they visit your website, when they open your product, all of these customer touch points should support your brand, and operationalizing what you want the brand to feel like to your customers is absolutely key. Otherwise, everything that came before is wasted. And then fourth, what you really need to do is make this happen consistently over time. If you look at the chief marketing officers for the biggest organizations around, people like Starbucks and McDonald's and Virgin and Apple, what they focus on is the consistency of the customer experience. If you look at Apple, that means that every product is beautifully designed, every store is beautifully designed, every interaction happens smoothly. That's their brand experience that they want to communicate. If you look at Starbucks, every store pretty much looks the same. All the drinks are called the same, the pricing is the same. You know, you go in a Starbucks here, East Coast, West Coast, wherever, the brand experience is going to be the same. So consistency of brand experience over time is what builds a powerhouse brand. That's it. 4-step process. Branding is actually very simple, but there's also a lot of subtlety. But what you need to do is go through the process and you'll be well on the way to building a powerhouse brand. This is Chris Trahorn. This is MThink TV. Thank you for watching.